Parallel lines have the same slope. M1 is equal to M2. Therefore, if we look at the equation of the line y equals 3x minus 1, we would know it's parallel to the equation 3x minus y equals negative 7 by solving for y, by adding a negative 3x to both sides of the equation, and then multiplying by negative 1, we get y equals positive 3x plus 7, where our slope for the equation of this line is 3. The slope for the equation of the original line was 3, and when the slopes are the same, we have parallel lines. Perpendicular lines have the opposite reciprocal slope, where M1 is equal to the opposite and the reciprocal of the second slope. Therefore, if we look at the equation y equals 2x plus 3, we can say it is perpendicular to x plus 2y equals 4. Here in the first equation, our slope is 2. And the opposite reciprocal of that would be negative 1/2. So let's go off to the side of our paper and solve the second equation, x plus 2y equals 4, and put it into slope-intercept form. To put an equation in slope-intercept form, you must isolate y. So I'm going to add the opposite of x to both sides of the equation. 2y is equal to the opposite of x plus 4. We still need to isolate y. We can multiply both sides of the equation by 1/2. Recall there are two terms on this side. We need parentheses. We're going to multiply the 1/2 to the negative x, getting negative 1/2 x, and the 1/2 to 4 and getting plus 2. Y equals negative 1/2 x plus 2, where the slope for the equation of this line is negative 1/2. Which happens to be the opposite reciprocal of the first slope, making these two lines perpendicular. Let's try an example of trying to find the equation in standard form for each line that satisfies the given conditions. I want it to be parallel to 3x plus y equals 5. To be parallel means it has to have the same slope. To find slope given an equation, you need to solve for y. So I'm going to add a negative 3x to both sides of this equation. We now have y is equal to negative 3x plus 5. So the slope for this equation is negative 3. To have a line that's parallel means I'm going to have to use the same slope. To find the equation of the line, I'm going to use the point-slope form. Recall that point-slope form says y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1. Let's label the given point as x1, y1, and put those values into this equation. Y minus 1 is equal to the slope, negative 3, times x minus 2. And we need to clear parentheses, so we'll multiply this negative 3 using the distributive property, since there's multiplying on the outside and adding in the inside. And we have y minus 1 is equal to negative 3x plus 6. They asked us to put this equation in standard form. Standard form has x's and y's on the same side of the equal sign, so I need to add 3x to both sides of this equation. And the constants are on the other side of the equal sign, leaving us with 3x plus y is equal to 7. This is the equation of the line, parallel to 3x plus y equals 5, passing through the point 2, 1, written in standard form.